Part of it is this. These guys in the system now, will they be holding, if I tell them that their movement key is the wheel backer, they understand the TV commercial.
Hi, I'm Jeff Charles, voice of the Pirates.
I'm ECU football head coach Scotty Montgomery, and you're watching WNCT.
Kind of makes you look back on the whole recruiting process in high school.
Wow, finally the off-season is over and we are at the beginning of the 2018 season. Really happy to be able to say that. We reported to camp with a big, just a big boost of energy from our Pirate Club and Pirate Nation to the opening of the renovations at the Ward football building. And it's been really awesome for us to come back and start with the juice that we have. We had a really productive off-season. And not to the point of just saying how well Coach C did. This was our most productive football offseason. I think our coaches did a better job this year than in previous years of making sure that when we rolled into camp, it would be just like an extended year. Going all the way back to the beginning, when we came out of January, we wanted to start spring ball early to get our defensive scheme, our tweaked offensive scheme, and then our special teams unit getting ready to go. So we really had just about 8 months of straight football, which is a really good thing to have. Our kids really responded to it. It was a lot of work by a lot of people. One of the biggest boosts that we've had to our program, special teams, is going to be, I think, a great highlight for us this year. Kirk Dahl, returning to his alma mater, has done a really good job. This is the first time after day 2 I can say that our punt unit and our kickoff return unit is already completely installed. I don't think I've ever been anywhere where two of the most important phases of special teams is already installed, and our kids know not only their positions but who's backing them up, who's rolling. I'll say this now. I think that this team is prepared already. Now we have to get ready to play A&T. Defensively, there's no secret that we have to get better than where we were last year, and that's exactly what we plan on doing. People ask my expectations of the defense. It's simple. Hold them to 1 point less than the offense. There may be games where we score 60 and they hold them to 59, and we're going to rejoice because of a victory. And then there may be games where they scored the only 2 points of the game and we don't score any on offense, but we hold them to no points, and we're all going to be happy with the victory. I think David Blackwell and our defensive staff have done a tremendous job of growing what we already had and putting it in place to give us the pass rush, the physical ability out at the corner position to play well at this point in camp. Now, 2 days into camp, defensively, what I'll say is this. We got a big-time player at defensive end, so big time that he is causing so many disruptions. I'm messing with the defense as much as I can to get other people in the game and backing him up off the line of scrimmage. Kendall Futrell has started camp and dominated this offseason. And as Coach C would say, he was a freak of the offseason, not only in the weight room, but in what we're asking him to do in our defensive scheme. And our new defensive scheme, he is also put in a position to where he can be very successful. That has directly turned into our corners being more effective on the perimeter at playing the football. It's not enough anymore to get PBUs or to let guys complete passes on us. Now, our biggest goal with Colby Gore and Spoon and Corey Sargent is to go get the football. We've got to create more turnovers on defense, and the way that we're going to do it is we're going to go be aggressive up front. And then in our secondary, we've got to catch the football. It's not enough to get a PBU. The stress for me in our secondary with Coach Riley and Coach Lynch right now is catch the football. We got to catch it on defense to create some turnovers. And I think one of the most solid points of our defense right now is the depth and the speed and the talent and the coaching at our linebacker position. Our linebacker position is our master communicator, whether they're communicating forward or backward. And we have done a good job of making sure that the guys that are communicating are dealing with the best communicator on our defense, and that's David Blackwell. Going back to our the acquisition of David Blackwell, we really wanted to add a position at the coordinator position, at the linebacker position, because of not only some of the things and the struggles that we've had in the past at linebacker, but a lot of the things that we struggled on defensively came right back down to communication, which is a direct connection to the way that we coach our scheme. So really happy with, after 2 days, our defense and what we're doing all around. Offensively, great start for our run game. And I'll say that with two big parentheses, and I'll put something right in the parentheses, no pads. That's a big deal, no pads. We're scheme sound right now in our run game. We're getting a lot of things fixed, not only in our run and protection game. Now we got to find out if the physicality that we've built to this point with adding members to our offensive front will really help us. Garrett McGinn has led us, but I think that probably our most solid player right now is Cortez Herring at our left guard. We're really, really smart, and the level of academia at our center position now has really been giving us the ability to put a lot of stress on our front to get our protections and our run game fixed. Our three quarterbacks right now, there is no question throughout the offseason, throughout every phase of what we asked them to do, each one of them have taken a major step. And right now they're led by Reed. Probably one of the most impressive plays I've seen in any camp, in any practice, just happened about 15 minutes ago. Happened down the right sideline. Our defense did a good job of flushing the pocket. Holton had to move out to his right. He's left-handed, and as he moved out to his right, Anthony Scott was able to leak up the right sideline, and he pitched the ball with his left hand over a defender closing on him, and it was about a 50 or 60-yard score where we had good defensive play that was just kind of trumped in that situation by a great offensive play by two people, and then also everybody down the field straining and body to body. Kingsley has had some huge, huge gains. He probably is one of our most improved players at this point of camp. He understands our offense better. He knows and where to go with the football. He knows that the ball has to be out of his hands in 2.6, 2.7 seconds. We've seen a tremendous amount of growth. But overall right now, Reed is just, he's been pretty dominant and pretty, also dynamic with the football. He runs a lot better than what, I would originally thought. Got to give a big credit to our strength and conditioning program and also the Pirate Club once again for feeding our guys different. Talking about a guy that now, since we were able to implement a breakfast, basically a breakfast training table in the spring, and now we're implementing a meal, a training meal every single day in the fall. Talking about a guy that went from 160 to about 194, 195 in a year and a half time period, only because of what we've been able to do, and our guys have bought in. Now, we've got to get back to the tradition of Pirate football. There's been a lot of things that have kind of changed over the last 4 or 5 years to where we've got to get ourselves set back in some of those traditions. You'll see some of those traditions on game day, but more of those traditions is not just playing with the chip on your shoulder. We hear chip all the time, and I talked about chip, but our guys are on edge right now. We got a lot of people that are on edge and on edge for the correct reason. One of those traditions that we've got to find a way to come back to is we've got to have exciting offense. That is something that we've been known for here, and a defense that runs to the football. And we are in charge of that, and we're going to have to do a great job of getting that done. Now, the last thing I have to say is I just got to praise our entire coaching staff for the way that they've prepared and just been – we've all had a Zoom focus on one thing, the football program. It hadn't been about me this offseason, taking a job or going into the job. It hadn't been about our players growing or doing this. It hadn't been about our coaches. It's really been about the program and Zoom focus on the program. A lot of things that have happened have really drawn us closer together. But we're better now, not because of the things you've heard me talk about in the past, about how well we're doing off season and how well our community service, which is all important, how we've grown academically, which is a great and the number one detail of any football program is to grow your team academically. But we're better now because we play better when we're on the field. That's the most important thing. We're playing a lot better than we have in the past, and we're really looking forward to getting the season started. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys in pads. A lot of guys, we have 105 guys in camp that are on the field. Now, a lot of times we've had between 90 and 95 guys, and by the time the season comes, we're already down to 80. This year, when the season comes and we're past the pre-camp number, we'll be at 115 players for the first time in a long time here at ECU. So we've done a lot of good things to grow, and we're growing not only in football, but our energy around what we're doing here with our Pirate Club has had a direct connection to the way that we're recruiting. We're recruiting a better athlete, and at the end of the day, if we can continue to grow the pipeline, what we're doing here in the East and in the state, our product will continue to get better. So welcome to the beginning of the 2018 season. We'll take some questions if you have them.
Scotty, what are your expectations for the run
My expectations for the run game is to come out of every game averaging 4 yards per carry. That's my expectations. If we hand it off, 30 times, I want a 4.0 per average carry. It doesn't seem like a lot, but there's going to be X plays in there. And I don't mean, all over the field X plays. I'm talking about run game X plays. And we're looking for those 4 yards, 4-yard gains, 4-yard gains, 4-yard gains, and then bang, we'll pop it out of there. There's going to be somewhere in there where we rush the ball for 150 yards or so and 200 yards or so, and there's not going to be, 25 or 35 carries in a game. But I want to get the ball to the line of scrimmage. No TFLs, too many tackles for losses, too many turnovers in the run game that we've just turned the ball over on 4th down, or we've turned the ball over in our first year by not taking care of the football. I want to end every single run with possession of the football. But, man, we've got to get to the point where we can average 4 yards a run.